I got a box here. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to show you what's inside. Now, for me personally, by the way, my name's Jim. For me personally, these are amazing pieces. I don't know if anybody else thinks they're cool. I don't know if they have any collectability whatsoever. But for me, I got a box full of jams here. In fact, I've got an oddball publication that is the first cover appearance for 3 massive athletes. I have a game program that I have been on the hunt for ages. We'll take a look at that one today. I've got another very oddball publication that is a throwback. It's not quite vintage, but it's borderline vintage. It should be cool. Another game program that I'm going to be looking at. And then finally, a fifth, or the last one, is another game program. So a lot of these are game programs. And again, they're kind of personal collection ones for me. Now, you may recognize this box here. This is a CGC box. And you may be saying to yourself, Jim, I thought you were kind of, sending most of your stuff off to PSA these days. And yes, that is true. But I sent these to CGC for a very specific reason. And that is because several of these were extraordinarily thick. The thickness of the magazine. Now, at the time that I sent these, the dimension requirements for PSA were you could only send in items that were 1/3 or 0.3 of an inch in thickness. That was for PSA. CGC's has always been a 1/2 inch. Since I sent these in, and just in the last few weeks, CGC has changed their specifications. And so CGC now is saying you can only send things in that are 5/16 of an inch thick. So I've got 0.3 of an inch for PSA, 5/16 of an inch for CGC. I'm a big fat dumb guy. I don't do math and converting fractions into decimals very well, so I have no idea where this is going to end up sitting. I don't know which is thicker, which is less thick. I'll have to do some math and figure it out. But my whole point in this is this was a CGC specific box because these are thick items. Let me make sure that I'm not... Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, I'm seeing, hold on, you gotta give me a second here. All right, for starters, these are facing the wrong way. Let's get that out of the way first. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, now I know. Okay, got it. I think I figured it out. For a minute there, I thought, and I still may get screwed with that, but for a minute there, I thought that some of these were too thick and I was getting them returned. I don't think that's the case. I will explain when we get to those in the entire process here. Okay. Very confusing. I understand. Okay, I think I know what's going on here. I didn't really look very closely at it, but my mind is working in real time here, and I think I know what's going on, and we'll kind of get to that when we get to it, and then we'll discover and reveal the answers together, and we'll see what happens. It's entirely possible that some of them got sent back to me ungraded, but give it a minute, and we'll dig into that. Okay, first one up. These are going to be a ton of fun. Cannot wait. First one out. Oh, that's a 9.6. Gonna need a minute here. Think I might throw up. Oh, crap. But also totally fair. Yeah, that was not going to get a 9.8. Totally fair. What is this, Jim? Oh, it's just the 1997 NBA Finals game program. That's all you got here. Man, this thing is thick. I knew that was definitely not going to fit in a PSA slab. Okay, interesting here. So, this is the 1997 NBA Finals game program. CGC slab labels. They put there Bulls versus Jazz. Bulls win 4-2. They also put MVP Michael Jordan. Okay, not bad. Didn't even ask for those. CGC put them on there. Props to CGC for some interesting slab label notes. I appreciate that. Okay, pop reports on this. There is one graded at 9.4. And then you got your boy, 9.6 right there with the top pop. This is ridiculous and silly. I think all of these are for me. I don't know if anybody else cares about them. I'm just going to make this video for me. So here's where I get that stupid little line that I do. Watch this.
They got Euro players, these, Tiramisu hitting them from the threes and that, and doing them baby gator shots and all of that shit off the back top. And then they got your boy.
I don't know why I find Theo Von hilarious. He just says the most goofy stuff, and it just hits me and tickles me. So that's where I get that line from. 9.6, I'll take it. The 9.6 always goes down much, much easier for me when it's the top pop. And that beauty is the top pop. Look at that. You got Pippen right there, Jordan, Stockton, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc there. You got Karl Malone. How do you do an NBA Finals program with the Bulls, and the only shot of Jordan is his back? That's my problem with this piece here. Okay, keep in mind, 97 Finals. Now, they did one program for multiple games, so I think there is I've seen two different versions of this program. I don't know if one was produced in Chicago, the other one produced in Utah. There's not a lot of good information out there. But what I do know is they did not produce a separate individual program for every single game, so we don't know which game this was for. But keep in mind, the 1997 NBA Finals included the greatest NBA performance we have ever seen from any NBA player. I'm talking about the flu game, the famous Michael Jordan flu game, and we're going to go straight to flu game highlights.
Big story here tonight. The story concerning Michael Jordan's physical conditions. This Jordan arriving about 2 hours ago. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms.
I always felt that Michael liked it best when it was the toughest odds against him. And while it's never really fun to be sick, it just added to the legend.
Jordan trying to slip it, and then took it back and hit. So Michael Jordan, despite visibly shaken by the flu symptoms.
Isley starts his assault, gives it to Malone. Underhand layup, good.
Shot clock at 4. Morris. A fiery start for the Utah Jazz.
The first quarter was probably just to get some of the flu out, but as the game go along, and you're a great player such as Mike, you're gonna find a way to get it done. And that second quarter, he caught fire.
Jordan puts moves on Hornacek. Jordan, yes, not bad for a guy playing with flu symptoms. And the steal by Jordan, putting behind the back on Russell. He turned it around. To Pippen, controlled by Jordan. What a play by Michael Jordan.
He would do whatever he could to win the game. And if it took conning you, he would con you. Sometimes I myself always questioned how sick he was.
Jordan got the step. Jordan has tied the game at 63.
Michael Jordan might have been sick, but he wasn't sick to play basketball. I mean, if you bought into that, you could have been sold anything in the world.
Jordan, yes. Jordan fires for Clinton, yes. And he did it in casual form. You get the idea he's having difficulty just standing up.
Oh, well, he's playing. He's unbelievable. But as soon as there's a stoppage in play, he's coming over to the bench for a timeout. He's just like, oh, and he drops.
The game tied at 85. 10 on the shot clock.
The three, yeah! They lead it. 38 points for the King. 88-85.
Classic performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan. Chicago Bulls have defeated the Utah Jazz.
I was really tired. I was very weak. Somehow I found the energy. Just stayed strong. I wanted it really bad.
I love those highlights, but I hate they included that stupid journalist, Sam Smith from the Chicago Tribune, and he gives out that line. I question if he was even ever sick. Yeah, don't bring that low IQ crap here. That's a bunch of bull. We all know Jordan was sick. Get out of here with that bogus take. I love this 9.6. It was painful at first. I get it. 9.6 is always painful for me. But because I got the top pop right here in my hands, that makes that 9.6 go down a little bit easier. This is a good start. We're off to a very good start. Whew. Okay. Just give me a minute. Top Pop, 1997 NBA Finals game program. Yeah, not bad. Your boy's gonna take that. All right. Up next. Okay, still okay. Not bad. I'm gonna take that one too. You got that at 9.0, and that is a fair. Yeah, that's a fair grade. So this is, I'm going to look at the slab notes here. Okay, good. Lots good going on here. So this is this is NBA Hoop magazine. I'll explain Hoop in a minute here. So this was the game program for the Chicago Bulls at the Los Angeles Lakers on February 2nd, 1996. I projected this at 9.2, so okay with that 9.0. This says Los Angeles edition, so this is a variant, and all the game programs to a degree would be variants, and let's explain those. Also says here, Chicago Bulls 99, Los Angeles Lakers 84, so they gave me the score of the game there too. So Hoop magazine. There are kind of two different versions of Hoop. Hoop was a magazine that you could subscribe to, and they would mail it off to your house. But Hoop was also essentially the same thing, was also used as the game program across the entire NBA. And usually it was the same one. So usually they would produce one for February, and Michael Jordan would be on the cover in February. And even though I was seeing the Charlotte Hornets versus the 76ers in Philadelphia, you would still get the Michael Jordan cover. The inside would usually be a little bit different. You'd have some, rosters for the specific teams, and then you would have usually a scorecard for that specific game. So again, this is for this specific game, February 2nd, 1996. This is not the subscription issue of the magazine that would get mailed to your house. This is the program edition of that, and it's good that CGC recognized that and gave me that information. It even says here, yes, it gives me the date, February 2nd, 1996. If this were the magazine, it would just say February 1996, and it wouldn't have a specific day as part of it. So, by the way, Goal magazine for the NHL operates very, very similarly. Interestingly enough, okay. Well, now I'm going to have to do some math on this, because this is interesting. It says Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. I thought it was already the Staples Center in 1996. Maybe it was still the Forum in 96. I'm going to have to spot check. You know what? Let's do it right now. Go to the bonus phone here. Hold on a second. Staples Center, LA. Staples Center, Wikipedia. Let's see what it says. Oh, come on. Was my internet giving me a hard time right now? Oh, it is. My internet's chunking right now for some reason. All right. That would have been good. Oh, here we go. Staples Center. Now it's called Crypto.com Arena. Oh, it did open in 1999. Okay, so more props to CGC. It was the Great Western Forum, and it was not the Staples Center yet. Couple things about this game. Interestingly enough, Scottie Pippen led all scorers with 30 points, not Michael Jordan. Dennis Rodman had 23 rebounds. Bulls win 99-84. Keep in mind here, this was 1996. This is the season where the Chicago Bulls had the single greatest season in NBA history. They won 72 games. They rolled through the playoffs and beat the Seattle Supersonics in 6 games in the NBA Finals. Sorry, Golden State Warriors. I know you guys won 73 games in 2016, but you crapped the bed against LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals and couldn't pull that off, despite the fact that you guys were up 3-1 in the NBA Finals in 2016. You still lost to LeBron and the Cleveland Cavs, so the 2016 Warriors can't ever be credited as the greatest season because you didn't win the finals. Reminds me a lot of 2007 New England Patriots and Tom Brady. They go 16-0 in the regular season, get all the way to the Super Bowl. Eli Manning and David Tyree do a number on them, beat them in the Super Bowl. So that was great. Loved this season from the Bulls. 9.0. We'll take it. I am worked up here. Just give me a minute. It's a very exciting box. Very exciting box. Okay. Love it when the back gives it away. Okay. I know what this is. Not going to talk. I'll wait till do the reveal before I tell stories about it. But obviously you can see University of Auburn and the War Eagle there on the back. Let's take a look. 9.2. Your boy's going to take that one at 9.2. Now here's the kicker. Here is the kicker. Because I made a slab note request when I sent this to CGC, and if they didn't give it to me, I'm going to start kicking over chairs and tear up this whole office. Oh, they gave it to me. CGC, I love ripping on CGC, and they deserve it. Every single time I rip on CGC, they deserve it. But they did good. They've been crushing it on this box with the slab label notes. Oh, this is awesome. So this is Auburn football game program. Just happens to be the game program for the game played on November 30th, 2013 versus Alabama. Ring any bells? Kick 6 game, baby. The greatest ending to any college football game ever. What have we been playing? College football for like 100 years, 150 years, something like that. The greatest ending ever because it was the kick 6. And CGC gave that slab label note. Kick 6 game. What I did, I wanted this slab label note so bad. I printed off the Wikipedia page. I included that. I printed off a couple of other websites for supporting documentation, put it in there with the bag and board, made it as easy as possible for the grader to verify that, yes, this game program came from the Kick 6 game. Here's the proof. Just give me that slab label note. CGC did it. 9.2. I projected it at 9.4, so I certainly am not that upset. Yeah, 9.2 is totally fair. Totally fair on this one. I'm sure I'm going to get some blowback for what I just said, calling this Kick 6 game the greatest ending to any college football game in history. Don't come at me, Boston College fans, throwing up Doug Flutie's Hail Mary from 1984, Cal and Stanford, 1982, and of course, the band is out on the field. No, neither of those game endings were anywhere near as good as this one, and I will let you judge it for yourself. Here is Kick 6.
56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow.
How can you come to any other conclusion than that is the greatest ending to any college football game ever? Auburn's gonna win the football game. Auburn's gonna win the Iron Bowl. I mean, insane, crazy. I remember exactly where I was when I saw that. Oddly enough, I was at a Notre Dame hockey game, which, by the way, Notre Dame has one of the best hockey arenas in all of college sports. called the Compton Family Ice Arena. It's a dedicated hockey stadium. They don't do anything else there. And I was at a Notre Dame hockey game, and I was like in the fancy area, the club area, which at this stadium, it's essentially a sports bar kind of at the top of the arena, and then you just look out over the railing of the sports bar, and there's the ice right down below. But you can, there's food, and at the time, it was the only place in the stadium you could buy alcohol, and it's like a sports bar. They got a whole bunch of TVs over there. And so I'm watching this hockey game, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on this Alabama-Auburn game, and fourth quarter rolls around, and I'm like pretty much ignoring this hockey game and planted myself in front of one of those TVs. Actually, my mother-in-law and father-in-law were at the game with my wife and daughter and I. And toward the end of the game, I called them over. I was like, you guys need to come and watch this. So we gathered around that TV, and there was a huge crowd around that TV for that last-second field goal attempt that turned into the world-famous kick six. By the way, Pop reports this is the only copy graded at 9.2. The only top pop at 9.2. I'm thrilled. I've owned this for a while. I've been, for some reason, I just haven't gotten it graded. I've owned it for a couple of years, and just finally came up in the priority list and sent it off and got it graded. And I am thrilled by this because I am such a huge college football fan. And I remember where I was watching that game and remember it vividly. And it was so incredible. And this game program was in the stadium during that game. Kick six. This has been one of the most fun boxes for me in a long, long time. Just love it. Jim, what's that doing in a CGC box? Well, let's talk about that while I open it. I talk about oversized publications a lot that are too big to get graded. Rolling Stone magazine, Life magazine, there's a ton of others out there. But what I don't talk about very often are small publications. So I got to make sure that this opens the right way so I don't... Oh, no! Oh, it did happen. I was thinking, this sucks. Didn't get graded. Okay, I was thinking because it came in this. While I open this, I'll tell you the story. So usually when you send in small publications, they will put it inside of a comic-sized slab, not the magazine-sized slab. But what they did here is then they just put it in a mailer and sent it back to me. And they put this little thing here that says, do not encapsulate. And it's got my invoice number. And it says right there, they checked the box, too tall, too wide, too thick, underscored. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, here's what it was. Kind of cool. This is the old ABA, American Basketball Association, and this is the Sporting News ABA guide for the 75-76 season. Man, it's in really good shape, too. By the way, that is Artis Gilmore of the Kentucky Colonels on the front. I'm a big ABA fan. I love the old ABA. None of these were graded, so now I know why. It's too thick. This was the last season for the ABA, 75-76 season. After that, they merged with the NBA, or I should say some of the teams merged with the NBA. The other teams just went away and disappeared. Artis Gilmore on the cover here, one of the greatest of all time. Actually, Artis Gilmore played a season with Michael Jordan. He was on the Bulls in 1987. Actually, calling it a season is too much. He played maybe 20 or 30, not even 30, like 20 or 25 games with the Bulls that season, and then they shipped him off to the Celtics. But Artis Gilmore and Michael Jordan shared a court for the same team for a short period of time. Kind of cool. I love that Kentucky uniform. I love the Kentucky Colonels. By the way, this is the back. This is the 1975 ABA All-League team. And you've got George McGinnis, Dr. J, Artis Gilmore, Matt Calvin, and Ron Boone. Interesting. Too thick to grade. And now I know what else is in here. Another one. Crap. This is going to be the same thing. Too thick to grade, I assume. Oh, come on. Bruh, you're killing me here. And here's what upsets me about this. Here's what's frustrating about this. Yeah. Here's what's frustrating about this. There are other copies of this exact publication that have been graded. So that's why I'm a little teed off about this. I get that ABA guide from the Sporting News. There's been no other copies graded. Fine. This one, there is a 7.0 and an 8.5 that exist. That sucks. That sucks. TV Guide. I told you it was weird. August 1990. Like I said, some reason, somebody got the one at 7.0 graded and one at 8.0 graded. By the way, TV guides are always fascinating because there can be a million variants because each TV guide, the inside was different for each television market. So the 7.0 that's been graded is a Charlotte, North Carolina variant. It was distributed in the Charlotte market. And the 8.5 is a Tulsa, Oklahoma variant. This one was from the Philadelphia market. That is Michael Jordan. It is Bo Jackson. And it is Joe Montana. All on the cover of TV Guide. It was all their first cover appearance on TV Guide. Look at that. You got Jordan right there. You got Joe Montana. You got Bo Jackson. I'm dejected. I'm bummed. Especially because this box was going so awesome. Top Papa NBA Finals 1997. Hoop program with Jordan on the cover. Got the Auburn kick 6. And then just kicking the crotch on these last two. Because they couldn't be graded. Probably would have been maybe a 7.0. So not a huge grade. But a bummer that they wouldn't grade it. And again, I assume it says too thick like the others. And yes, it does. It says, got the box checked. Too tall, too wide, too thick. Well, now I'm left to question. Because CGC changed their standards. It used to be a 1/2 inch thick. Both of those that weren't graded were less than a 1/2 inch thick. Now they've moved it to 5/16 of an inch. I wonder if there's any way I can send these to PSA. I guess I'll have to get my tape measure out and measure again, and maybe I can get PSA to slab these two. Started on such a high note, and we finished with a bummer. Oh, by the way, actually, I am going to send them to PSA. And do you want to know why I'm going to send them to PSA? I will show you. Here are two examples. So here's number one. This is what a small publication looks like in a CGC slab. Now, I don't care for this, because they put it all the way at the top. Now, they center it, but they put it all the way at the top. But that means you've got all that dead space there. Now, here's what PSA does with a small publication. Centers it right in the middle of the slab, so you don't have all like dead space all to one end and then no space at the top of it, like the CGC example. So, like that PSA example, don't like the CGC example, that'll give me an excuse to try it out and send it to PSA, and maybe they will grade it, and if they do, at least it'll look a lot better than it would have looked in a CGC slab. This box was a roller coaster ride. I was on cloud 9, and then bam, somebody smacking me in the back of the head with a baseball bat. It felt like Joe Pesci walking into that empty room there in Goodfellas. Right there. Still a fun box anyway. If you're interested in my comic and magazine cleaning and pressing service, drop a comment here on YouTube or find me on social media. I'm on every social platform. Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and eBay and everywhere, and you can find me. Send me a DM on social media. I'll send you all the details. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I'll go out with the Sammy Sosa, and thanks so much. Appreciate it.